Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our Tier 1 feature race for this evening's Clio Cup. Just inviting a few drivers that cannot take part in qualifying due to their brilliant performance in the first race into the commentary box to learn about their the antics that went on in the sprint race. A brilliant race it was. If you didn't manage to catch it, please have a look on your YouTube channel shortly. It shall be uploading, where we shall find out more about it. We're joined by Morgan now. So Morgan, you had a battle throughout that whole race. How was it from your perspective? We saw you pulled away towards the end, managed to get a gap and get on the podium.
Yes, no, thank you Roger, for that. It was a really good race. Didn't quite have the pace to keep up with JR, you know, my title rival, but no, it was a good race, and another good strong podium finish. Still can't quite get that, at least the first win of the race, but get there myself.
So what's your plan for this feature race? Obviously you can't qualify. Are you going to push from the start, or maybe save your tyres and see if anyone else in front of you does make mistakes with you starting at the back?
Stay in front of JR, that's the plan.
Yeah, that's
I need to stay in front of him.
Definitely sounds like a good tactic. So who have you got your eyes on for qualifying then? Obviously you're unable to qualify. Who else that is able to qualify do you not want to get away from the start of the race?
Barry's got a good chance because he's been back on the top 5. So he's got a good chance of getting pole. I believe he's quite close to me on points as well. I think he's third, so yeah, you know.
You've got to keep your eye on him then.
Yeah, keep an eye on him, you know. Hopefully he gets bogged down.
Yeah, definitely. From your perspective, you should hopefully get a good start from the back and fight your way towards the front again.
Yeah, no, hopefully that's the plan. Hopefully jump JR, and then yeah, keep going. But other than that, it's good battles in the race.
Yeah, glad to hear off you, mate. So we'll let you get back into the pit lane and sort your car out for this feature race. Good luck, mate.
Thank you very much.
We're just joined there by motoring Morgan, our final podium position for this evening's sprint race at Oulton Park, letting us know his thoughts about the first race and what he's going to do in the second race. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye on him throughout and see how he gets on, as we're just looking now at Dyke Rocks as he comes around on his first flying lap. This qualifying session only 10 minutes long. We do see quite a few drivers in the pits at the moment. Only 5 aren't able to qualify. The top 5 from the sprint race, as a rule here at Motive, they are unable to qualify. We just see Dyke Rocks just spins out a little bit, manages to keep it straight, and unfortunately this lap will not be the best from him. We'll jump on board with Smoky Devil, off tier 2 drivers. He just runs wide as well, very unfortunate. It looks like we're having internet issues there from Smoky Devil. We'll jump on board with DJ Phil, our seasonal driver. Very consistent and safe, DJ Phil. And Grandad Steve, as we saw then. If you haven't seen it, please have a look on our YouTube channel. The battle that went on in the sprint race, absolutely phenomenal from 5 drivers, including Grandad Steve. He came off better, obviously. He came off with less points, but it also means he can qualify for this race and get off at the front, and hopefully get on the podium for the next race, as he was trying to do in the last race. So at the moment we do have 9 drivers in the pits. One's just come out, so our provisional pole at the moment is Grandad Steel, 1:48.7. We do know he can go faster. That's his first lap. Bowie puts it on pole for now, who was second in qualifying. Had a few problems in the race though, so we'll have to keep an eye on how he gets on. As you see, just sliding down and on to the Lakeside Straight, pushing that car as much as he can. We'll take a lap on board with him now. Down past Lakeside, sideways into that left-hander, flat out, down to second gear now, slamming the brakes on. Shell wheel corner this is. using as much power as he can now to take it up to Britain's. Very tight, twisty chicane this is. He needs to try and make it flow to keep the power on as much as he can. So up the hill we go. A very good overtaking opportunity we're entering now. Outbreak someone into his lock chicane. We see him now try and take it perfectly, apex to apex. Now it should be flat out for the next corner. As he does so, trying to keep as much speed as we go under the bridge. He's still our pole sitter at the moment, 6 tenths back. We do have Grandad Steve Ollie at the moment, not showing his full potential pace, 1.1 seconds back. Coming into the last corner now, down into second or even third corner. Power straight back on, and we are going to go across the line. Let's see if he improves on his lap time now. There we go, he does improve at 1:47.8, a brilliant lap there from Bowie. As we see a driver just coming out of the pits. It looks like that driver is on his first lap as he is ghosting. We'll have to wait to see how that driver gets on. So like we heard earlier from Morgan, he needs to keep his eye on Bowie. Bowie was second in our qualifying session for our sprint race, where all drivers did take part. And at the moment he is on provisional pole with 2 minutes 50 to go. Only 5 drivers at the moment have set a lap, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Who does set a lap? There's Smoky Devil on board now, coming down past Cascades onto Lakeside Straight. Looks like he's got a bit of damage there on that car. We'll also have a look at a few other drivers. Rob coming towards the end of a lap now. Hopefully this is a flying lap. Here he is now into the large corner, slamming the brakes on, straight back on the power. Let's see where this puts Rob in the standings for all this qualifying session of our feature race at Motive Racing in the Clio Cup. That looks to have been an outlap there for Rob, and he's just about to start a flying lap now. We're on board now with Falguest, another seasonal driver, very fast. Flying through the fast left-hander there, down to Shell Oil corner. Here we are now on board with our usual commentator Andy, who has took the driver's seat this evening into the perspective of what he's usually commentating. Track favourite this is Andy, and we'll have to keep an eye on how he gets on for this evening's feature race. He started at the back in the sprint race and moved his way up throughout the field with a longer race this is, so hopefully he will take a few more positions throughout. Back up at the front, Bowie's still out on the podium. Grandad Steve's gone in the pits. Obviously he thinks he's done enough to stay on that podium. Bowie's sliding all over the place, obviously losing a bit of time there, with only just over 30 seconds to go to this qualifying session. We will have to keep an eye on these last minute people out on track. And coming into the last corner now, Bowie, this might be his final lap. We'll have to keep an eye on the timer. 10 seconds to go. It looks like he will have enough time to go one more time. There we go, across the line he goes. He doesn't improve that time, but he is on his final lap. Everyone else crossing the line now though. will be on their last lap. So we join on board with DJ Phil. Coming into the last corner, will he improve on 6th position? He isn't unable to, unfortunately. We've got Rob just behind in 7th. There we see our DJ pushing the car as much as he can. Unfortunately hitting that curb and it sends him off the track. I think that's Andy just coming behind him. Oh no, it's in front of him, but Andy is on his first flying lap, I think, so we shall watch him now as he comes up over the hilltop under the bridge. Now we'll downshift one into Drood's corner. Trying to keep that throttle open all the way for as long as he can. Into the last corner you shall go. This looks like a very clean lap for Andy. And we'll have to see now where this will put him in the standings for the feature race. Across the line he goes, and he goes second. A brilliant lap there for Andy. 0.4 I think I saw then, just behind our qualifying winner Bowie. So we've got Bowie on pole, Andy in second, Grandad's T third, Ollie in 4th, RDJ 5th, Dicrox 6th, Falguest 7th, and DJ Phil 8th. And the rest of the pack were unable to qualify due to their brilliant performances in race 1. So we'll get these guys on the start line, get our feature race started. 18 laps it is with a mandatory pit stop, so it's going to be a long race for these boys, but also we've got to take into account they do need to pit. If you are watching at home and you're just joining us, this is the feature race for this evening. Our Tier 1 drivers are about to get underway for 18 laps of exciting racing here at Oulton Park International. Please comment who you do reckon is going to win. The bottom 5 on the grids were unable to qualify, so they will be looking for any opportunity available to overtake the drivers in front, try and move up positions if they can. But as we see, we do have Bowie on pole to start this race, and his teammate, it looks like Andy, on the 2nd position. There we go, all the cars are now loading in, setups have been put in, pit stops have been organised, the lights are about to go out, and we are underway here at Oulton Park International. Bowie looks to have got a brilliant start, with Andy unfortunately not getting the best. He's under pressure from drivers behind, he takes the outside line, it looks like Ollie's looking to get up the inside, and he just runs wide there as it looks. RDJ all over the back of Andy as we come down on the first lap of this feature race here at Motive Racing League. Bowie already with a large gap, and it looks like there's a crash behind. Let's look further down the field. It looks like Smithy and Smoky Devil involved, and Motoring Morgan, our second in the championship driver. Very unfortunate, we did hear from him before this qualifying session, and he did want to get away with a good start. His championship contender is the leader of the championship. He is up to 6th position at the moment, so he's got a brilliant start in this feature race. And we're joined back on board with our leader, Ollie, just behind. Only 8 attempts in it at the moment with that train of cars hunting down Bowie as we come towards the end of lap 1 now. Into the final corner Bowie goes, trying not to make any mistakes. Let's look further down the field. Grandad Steel had a brilliant battle in the first race. Goes for his pit stop early. He's looking for some clean track. So we've got one driver in the pits at the moment. Our DJ out there fighting out with the boys in front for a podium position. Going down to Cascades. Fighting to keep that car under control as he runs a little bit wide there, but manages to keep it on the track. He's got Andy just in front of him as usual, commentator, but he's took a night off, which is good to see. He's enjoying his racing. Looks like further down the field we have got a battle going on from our race 1 winner, the only G in that Monster Energy livery car, pushing to try and get past Smithy. So let's try and keep an eye on these boys. Just in front in that fluorescent green car we have Falguest, trying to get away from these two boys, trying to gap and not be involved in this battle, to try and catch up to that little battle going in front. There we go, the gaps are extending now as we come towards the end of lap 2. Bowie out in front, Andy chasing hard, only 1.4 seconds behind now. Ollie down in 3rd, 2.6 seconds back away from Bowie. And then we've got this battle for our 4th position going on. JR, our championship leader, in 4th at the moment. Just behind him we've got our DJ Smithy involved in this battle, and it looks like my eye to go 3 wide here on the straight. 2 wide though, just behind Smithy. Smithy controlling it at the moment, doing everything he can to keep these 2 cars behind him. There we go, we see Smithy in Cascades. Looks to have just run a bit of a tight line there, took G off. G didn't think he was doing that and nearly touched bumpers, but very safe driving from both of them. As we see Fal looks to be letting off a little bit and maybe saving his tyres, and Smithy's hit someone potentially who was stuck on track. I don't know who that was, but it was Ollie who was in the wall and maybe span out. Very unfortunate for both of those boys there. Ollie looked to be in 3rd position, he was, until that happened, and Smithy was having a brilliant battle there with Fallon, the only G. Very unfortunate for our 2 season contenders there. We'll join back up towards the front, and it looks like Rob, he's span out down at Hislop Chicane as he joins back on the track safely. We see him there. So back up at the front we've got Bowie, our race leader, just in the distance behind. We've got Andy, our usual commentator. Then we have our championship leader who started at the back. He's battled his way through only in 3.5 laps it's took him to get up to that podium position. A brilliant race there. We've got to remember though, people have pitted already and we've got to keep an eye on where they have come out. So as you can see here, we are currently still on board with JRR Championship leaders hunting down Andy just in front. Only 2 seconds between these two at the front. There's still a battle going on for 5th position. It looks like Fowles messed up the chicane down at Britain's. So it might have to give that position back to RDJ. I don't really know what happened. We didn't join in time. But it looks like there's going to be a 4 or even 5 car battle as we see Ollie in the background of that picture. Very unfortunate, he hit the wall earlier on in the race. And it looks further down the field though. We do have a little battle going on between Diacross and ALTL. ALTL looks to have quite a bit of damage on that car. Very unfortunate for him at the moment. He is down in 11th. So we'll have to just keep our eyes on that. At the moment we see JR is in the pit box. Our championship leader takes his mandatory pit to try and get some fresh air out on track. Where will he come out? He should come out in between some cars. Smithy also now in the pit box. JR will jump back on board with JR as he is now leaving the pit box. Where shall he come out? He comes out just in front of Diacross. We've also got ALTL in the pits. Unfortunately misses his pit box, but he's managed to get there now. So Smithy leaves the pits as well. Yeah, only a few drivers are taking their mandatory pit at the moment. So we will have to keep an eye on when everyone else takes theirs and where they shall come out. There we are, ALTL underway as well, just behind Smithy. We'll jump back on at the front. So Bowie and Andy yet to take their pits. So we'll have to see where JR comes out with that clean air now. We've still got this 4-car battle going on in front between Motoring Morgan, Falguest, Ollie and RDJ. And as we see there, Fal and Ollie both coming in the pits at the same time. Very good driving there to not hit each other as they came in the pit lane. So we've also got Andy in the pits as well. Our second in position, just coming out of the pit lane. He comes out of the pits just behind JR, our championship leader. So will Andy have the pace to keep up with JR? We know Andy hasn't had much practice for this evening's race, but can he keep hold of JR? At the moment, G has taken the lead, so it looks like Bowie might have made a mistake. Bowie's now 7 seconds back behind the only G. As he locks up the brakes there, allowing Motoring Morgan just to catch up an extra little bit. So there we see coming over the hilltop now in the yellow and blue car, JR, our championship leader. Just behind we have Andy, our usual commentator and league coordinator, out on track this evening, showing these boys how to drive without practice. We'll just have a look now at times that are being done. We're about to go on to lap 7 of the race. The fastest lap at the moment comes from, it looks to be Bowie, a 1:48.0, and a 3-second penalty unfortunately at the moment for RDJ. A 10-second penalty though for Falguest, so it looks like he might have sped into the pits with the pressure of Ollie. We've got 3 cars in the pits now. There goes only G, Motoring Morgan and Rob, so we'll have to look now, where does JR and Andy come out. So we've got JR and Andy battling at the moment for the race lead. As we know, Bowie hasn't took his pit stop, so that's why he's 5 and 6 seconds up the road away from these two cars. So we've still got RDJ and Darkrox just coming out of the pit lane now. They'll come out in between Smithy and Val. There we go, we've got a 3-car battle now coming into the second corner. Oh, and it looks like Smithy has gone off. Very unfortunate there from Smithy to hit RDJ. Safe driving though to rejoin the track in the way they have. So we'll jump back towards the front of the field where we see these two boys battling it out for the race lead. As I say, Bowie hasn't taken his mandatory pit yet, and unless he does something special, that 6-second gap will go away when he gets in the pits. As we look on the timing sheets, it looks like there's a battle further down going on. Here's Darkrox, we're on board with him now. Last night I had a very good race in the GTEs at Catalonia. Looks like these boys are still battling at the front. JR, our championship leader. If you're only just joining us, feel free to like and subscribe. We are going to be having more racing as season 1 does come towards the end, only 1 week to go. If you'd like to sign up for season 2, feel free to go on our Facebook page, click the big button that will send you to our Discord server where you can sign up and potentially get a seat on the grid for our championships. We do have new championships coming next season. We do have, alongside the Clios, GTs, GT5s, we do have two or three new championships, which is, we announced yesterday, we do have a Dirt 2 championship starting. Obviously, that being a free game at the moment, we do want to offer a championship to everyone, especially rally fans out there. So if you do like rally, feel free to join our Discord and you can get signed up to that championship. We also do have an LMP2 championship starting, and also a GT3 championship starting with the driver. We are on board coordinating that. JR will be in charge of that. And you can also sign up for that on our Discord. So we will be running 6 championships next season, so that's going to be brilliant for everyone watching at home, with 6 lots of racing to be watched. As we see now, we're on lap 9. This battle's still happening. Andy just sitting there happily behind. JR happy to extend that gap to behind. We have the only G and Grandad Steve. Grandad Steve though looks to have a penalty. It's a 2-second penalty for him at the moment, so he will have to only take the only G and crawl away from him with at least a 2-second gap at the end of the race. Further down the field though, we do see motoring Morgan. It looks like Ollie just behind as well. These two boys very close on pace, as you can see. We've seen this in the sprint race as well, with Morgan just managing to get away and get on that podium. So Morgan's done well after starting at the back of this race. He's moved up to 6th position now. Let's join back on board with the action at the front of this race. Let's take it from the perspective of Andy coming through that chicane once more on lap 9 of this race. Up over the hill we go. We can see Bowie in front now. Bowie's still yet to take that mandatory pit stop. Down into fourth gear, sliding the car, we see JR. Up over the rise we go. As you can see, these boys are crawling closer, ever closer to Bowie. Even though Bowie's yet to take his mandatory pit stop, they are getting away from cars behind into free space, so they will be able to battle it out on their own later on in the race, which is very good to see. Further down we still have this little battle going on between these two boys, Motoring Morgan and Ollie, both well known for automotive, for being fast. Obviously we had Morgan in the commentary box during qualifying due to his phenomenal performance in race 1 to get on that podium after the battle we saw at the end of the race. If you didn't see that race, please look on our YouTube channel. It was a brilliant 5-car battle getting towards the end, and Motoring Morgan came out on top and managed to get on the podium. Further down we do have a battle going on between Falguest, it looks. Sorry, it's Oulton and Dicrox. Oulton's span though, very unfortunately, touches the grass there. He does it in fashion though, very well done there to Oulton. Get it back on track quick and get going. And so we're back on board with the race leader at the moment. It is Bowie, but Bowie is yet to take his mandatory pit stop. The two drivers you can see at the back of your picture, they have taken their pit stops and are looking to catch Bowie. So we start lap 11 into turn 1. Bowie goes with these two phenomenal racing drivers trying to catch up to him. We can see now on the cameras JR leading the way with Andy just behind him. If you are watching the stream, feel free to leave a comment who you think is going to win this race at the moment. It's going to be a battle between JR, our championship leader, and Andy, our league coordinator and usual commentator. So it's good to have him out on track this evening, showing everyone how to drive here at Oulton Park International. I've just noticed a comment from Kurt Hodgson. Good evening, mate. Looks like further down there's still a battle going on between Fal and Dicrox as they're heading towards Shell Oil's corner now, that hairpin. Slamming on the brakes as hard as you can, trying to get as much space on track to get that power back on. 3-car battle now as we head into the chicane. All coming out cleanly, managing to get on the power as early as possible as we head up towards his lap chicane now. Is anyone going to go for the inside? No. Fal blocks the inside very safely there. Oulton putting loads of pressure all over Dicrox now. Let's join on board with Oulton. See from his perspective what he is seeing now. The 2 cars in front. Just seeing a comment there from the evil Scotsman. Bowie has this, I think he says. Unfortunately Bowie hasn't taken his mandatory pit stop yet, so he will not be able to win this race. He is only 2 seconds in the lead as we see here. We'll jump back on board with JR and Andy, who have taken their mandatory pit stops. You can see Bowie just in the distance, so very unfortunate for Bowie to be chased down by these boys, knowing that he's still yet to take his mandatory pit. and is just content to sit behind our championship leader at the moment, trying to keep that gap away from these are next in line, which is the only GR sprint race winner. Five seconds the gap is between 4th place and 3rd place at the moment, so we'll have to keep an eye on that as to whether these two do start battling and whether G can crawl in and potentially get 2nd position or even 1st. So we see now going on to lap 13. Our race leader at the moment is Bowie, but as I say, he's yet to take his mandatory pit. We'll join back on board for this battle between Ollie and Motoring Morgan. As they come across the line now to start their lap 13. A brilliant battle going on here between these 3 cars of Fal, Dicrox and Oulton. Smoky Devil, brilliant driving there. Smithy unfortunately runs wide in the last corner and has to skip back to positions, flashing his lights to say I'm sorry as the boys drive off in the distance. Oulton now moves up to 9th position, chasing down Falgast. As we see now, the JR and Andy have been chasing down the whole race, and they managed to catch up to Bowie, our race leader at the moment. If we look on the timings, we can see that the last lap time for Bowie was a 1:49.3, and for JR it was a 1:48 dead, so they are pushing 1.3 seconds a lap quicker, so they won't want to stick around for long. They want to get past and keep pushing JR and Andy. Andy looks to be backing off a bit, and JR's wanted to chase down Bowie and get past him. So to start lap 14 now, we've got Bowie in the lead, JR in 2nd, Andy in 3rd, the only G in 4th, Grandad Stee in 5th, Ollie and Motoring Morgan battling out for 6th position. Touch of bumpers there, nothing to be concerned of from these boys, very safe drivers. We've got Fal fighting it out with Oulton down in 8th and 9th. Dicrox in 10th, battling as well with Smithy, and bringing up the rear, our safest driver on the grid. We've got DJ Phil. Let's have a look at this battle as they come towards the end of the lap now. Smithy and Dicrox. We'll join on board with Fal coming into the first corner. Oulton sat just behind him. We're joined back on board with our race leader at the moment, Bowie. Just behind me have our championship leader though, and our guest driver this evening. As I say, our league coordinator and head commentator. He's jumped in the driving seat this evening and seems to be showing everyone how it's done. So ladies and gentlemen, there's battle still going on between Ollie and Motoring Morgan. With only 3 laps to go now, we'll jump back on board with our race leader. Bowie at the moment, I'm not sure whether he has taken his pit stop. I would have thought by now he would. I'm having second thoughts as to whether he has taken that pit stop. If any of you watching have noticed him take his pit stop, please let me know. But at the moment he is in the lead with JR now caught up to him, and he looks to be hanging back a little bit, trying to save those tyres for the final stages of this race. Just over 2 laps to go now here at Oulton Park International for our Tier 1 feature race this evening. If you do like what you see, leave a comment, like this video, make sure to subscribe whilst you're there, and if you would like to join in, click on our Facebook page, which is Motive Racing, where you can find a link to our Discord server to find out more about all the championships we are running. We do obviously have the Clios, GT5s and GTs, which can be found on our YouTube channel. Some exciting races for you to watch. We do also have new championships starting for Season 2. We have LMP2s, GT3s, and we do have a Dirt 2 championship starting. So ladies and gentlemen, we are on lap 16 now. JR all over the back of Bowie as we come down to the Shell Oil hairpin. We shall see what it's like from JR's perspective to be battling for the lead here at Oulton Park as they come into the chicane, trying to keep that power on to get up the hill as fast as they can. We shall have a look at Andy just behind, watching these boys as they drop down now into his lap chicane, slamming on the brakes, trying to take the perfect line. Andy's just hoping he can sit there and these boys will make a mistake and he can take the win. At the moment it doesn't look like this is going to happen. These boys are driving perfectly out in front. We just look on the time and it does look like there's still a battle going on for 8th position between these two drivers, like there has been the whole race. Falgast and Dycrox coming into the shallow oil corner, although the 49 seconds behind our race leaders, just still showing safe driving and consistency to be able to drive the whole race. Battling, it's very good driving from both of these. So we'll look back at the front now. Bowie, our race leader, coming across the line to start lap 17. JR in second, Andy in third, and then just behind in the distance you can see our sprint race winner, the only G. Emo Guy is watching our stream from Tier 2. Thank you very much. He is going to check if Bowie has taken his pit. Very good information needed there. I didn't quite catch it due to all the madness that was going on out on track. So there we go. Falgast still battling out with Dycrox. We also seem to see another battle going on between Smithy and ALTL. This always happens out here on track. These two very matched on pace. Here's ALTL happy to just stick behind Smithy though, as they're about to start lap 17 themselves. I'll have to keep an eye on that. I'm sure JR will not be happy to stay in in second position coming on to the final lap. Is this tactical though? Will he be happy to let Bowie take the win? As the championship leader, Bowie is not a threat to him. Andy looks to be dropping off the pace a little bit at the moment. 3 seconds back now behind our race leader. Further down the field we do still have these battles going on. Falgast and Dycrox. ALTL and Smith, you look to be going side by side, maybe in the long left hander. ALTL still out in front though. Smith is slamming on those brakes. ALTL's run very wide out of the shallow corner there. Too wide now coming up to Britain's chicane. Who's going to get out there the best? Oh, very unfortunate there. Tap of the doors. It was like Smithy just turning a little too hard. and managed to hit Oulton. Very unfortunate. That's the first incident though in this race. So we'll look further up. This battle's still going on between Felguest and Diacrocs. And on the final lap now, we do see our race leader Bowie. A very consistent race at the front from him. I'm guessing he has already took his mandatory pit stop. Sorry to everyone at home, I did not see this on stream. So this at the moment is going to be the results, with JR, our championship leader, in second at the moment, 6 tenths back. Obviously he won't be happy with this. We do hope he does go for an overtake at the end. There we go. Emu guy has just said that I can confirm that Bowie has taken his mandatory pit, so Bowie is our official race leader. Thank you, Emu guy, for letting us know as we come up the hill for the last time. Bowie looks to be not feeling the pressure at the moment as we shall head towards the last corner of the race. JR looks to be a little bit too far back now to be able to do anything about this result. There we go, around the final corner. Bowie looks to take the win here at Oulton Park International in the feature race. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Bowie as a flash of lights of respect. Bowie flips across the line and JR comes across. Then we've got Andy, our commentator and lead coordinator, the only G coming across in 4th. Grandad Steve just coming around the final corner now. A brilliant showing of him tonight. A good battle in the sprint race. 5th position in the feature race. He won't be unhappy with that. Then we've got in 6th motoring Morgan. He looks to have got away from Ollie. There we go, Ollie across the line in 7th. Further back now we have Diacroc still battling away with Fal. Let's see how this one ends. Obviously Fal won't want to leave this battle out. Fal looks to be too far back though to be able to do anything about this, and he into the last corner. Diacrocs is going to take 8th position with Fal in 9th. Oulton down in 10th at the moment with Smithy a few seconds back, so it looks like that is how it's going to be. Coming around the final sector now, Oulton his car is battered. JR, welcome to the commentary box, mate. A brilliant race there from yourself. Starting from the back, obviously, was a big factor in this evening's race. Bowie being on pole. How did you find it coming from the back? You had a brilliant start, moved up to mid-pack after only a lap. From your perspective, what was it like getting off the start line?
I think I was pretty lucky with the shuffle of the back 5 that can't qualify. I ended up being quite far in front of a lot of my main rivals there. But coming for the field, it was real good fun. But Bowie in the end just had the exact sort of same pace as me. And as I was closing on the 16, 17, I'd hit the inside bump and then just giving myself too much to do. But take nothing away from Bowie. Fully deserved the win tonight. And well done to him. And thank you, Honey, as well, for covering tonight's race.
No worries, mate. A brilliant showing. Still our championship leader, gaining lots of points this evening. That's JR.
Cheers, Anu. Thank you. Cheers, lads.
So there's the results for this evening's race. Our feature race here at Motive Racing. So we have Bowie taking the win, only just 4 tenths in it between him and JR, our championship leader. In 3rd, our lead coordinator and commentator, Andy. 4th, our sprint race winner. He managed to crawl his way through the pack, the only G. 5th, Grandad Steve, motoring Morgan in 6th after a battle throughout the race with Ollie. Ollie taking 7th from that battle. Diacrocs in 8th. Felguest in 9th. Oulton in 10th. Smithy in 11th. DJ Felguest 12th. Smoky Devil in 13th. RDJ coming around at the back, unfortunately, after retiring on lap 7, so very unfortunate there for Rob. But we hope you can join us on Friday, where we shall be having the GT5 race, tiers 2 and 1, starting at the same time again. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We hope to see you on Friday.